All right, let's talk about it. Cowboy Nation, this week is already crazy as it is. Happy New Year's to everybody that's here watching. We're going to talk about this team. And, of course, the two guys that's on the COVID list, one being, let me see if I can pull up his picture right here, Darian Thompson. Hey, he's a backup guy in his role in the last few weeks or what have you. He's been playing a decent and serviceable job, not like he's been getting burnt or what have you. So he's been solid. He's been a guy that's been solid over here, and he's out. And now we got to pay attention to depth purposes. Now, it could be a blessing in disguise. Maybe you get a chance to see Rashard Robinson. Maybe you get a chance to see some of the young guys that they brought in as relates from the practice squad or what have you. Maybe we get a chance to see those guys out there, right? Now, I do know that I hear a lot of people say, well, Law, yes, it's one of those guys. But I look at it as depth purposes, right? Depth is everything, and you got to have depth, especially in any level of football, because it's a crazy sport. Like my dog OG Brian Broaders would say, football is a strange lady, right? So it's any given Sunday, and it's the final game of the year, and everybody knows, right? Win, lose, or draw, we're going to support this team regardless, but we will still like to have a W. We would still like to compete. We don't want it to be a lopsided game. We want it to be a game where it's going to be victorious in a sense, whereas even in a loss, if that were to happen, we can say, okay, yeah, this guy picked it up or that guy picked it up, right? So we want to look at all of those things, basically. And on this list, too, I think, let me see if I can pull this up. Justin Hamilton, Natchez, Mississippi's on Little Big Ham, My thing is, he's been wonderful on that line. Remember, they do a lot of dirty work on that front, and he's been one of the guys that's been solid. When his name is called, he's out there making plays, getting in the backfield. I think that this situation here, you might see more of Tyrone Crawford because they like to kick him inside, right? You might see more of the Eli guy that we picked up during this offseason. Well, during this season, I meant to say, because he was a trade acquisition, whatever. We might see more of Eli. Bradley Speak, or Breland Speaks, I meant to say, if he's even on this team now, But I look at it like this, Cowboy Nation, number 79. He's been showing his work out there, his worth as well, So he got it, so he would not play this final game. And think about this. From a collective aspect of it, those guys, they want to play. I guarantee you they want to play because at the end of the day, they get a chance to see and showcase and put out there on the field their tape and everything and beyond. That's just the reality of it. Now, we will have some guys that's going to be in the mix, and we'll find out. All right, so let's talk about this, the Booger Bear. The Philadelphia Eagles. I've got this from my dog, Jay Versick. He sent me this over there on the Instagram. He said, Law, here's the injury report for the Eagles. Derek Barnett, oh, man, he did not practice. Sean Bradley, he did not practice. Fletcher Cox, he didn't practice. Dallas Goedert, he did not practice. Deshaun Jackson, who's normally good for 1 or 2 plays, didn't practice. And Alshon Jeffries, is something personal. Maybe it's so personal that he didn't practice. Jordan, the tackle, he didn't practice. Duke Riley, he did not practice or did not participate. You see what I'm saying? Richard Rodgers, Miles Sanders, they both are out. And then you got the Jaquette kid who left practice. He probably got burnt again. And Quez Watkins, he full participant, I believe that's what that stands for. LP, yeah, full participant. So this thing is crazy. They're going to have to really see how they can claw out a victory for themselves, right, the Eagles, or they can be looking at it like, man, we are not letting the Cowboys get in. Let me repeat, we are not letting the Cowboys even smell a chance or an opportunity if they win, right? We will prefer the Giants to get in if the Giants beat the Cowboys, what have you, blase, 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 right? Or we prefer to lose, get mollywopped or what have you, beat down, and let the Washington team win or what have you. Could be the situation. But no, we ain't going to look at it in that light from the Cowboys' perspective, because I look at it like, hey, we just need to get out there and make things happen on our own, and this will be a learning example for not just the players but some of the coaching staff, and say, hey, this is an example of life. If you don't give your best in every situation, every situation, every moment, then this can happen. Get down to the final hours. Can't talk today. Let me grab my drink, man. I can't talk today. But you guys get what I'm saying, right? Let me just hold. Bear with me. Get down to the final minutes, and if you have not been playing to the level of where you're supposed to be at, you get these type of things to happen. That's what's happening, right? So what I'm trying to say is football, believe it or not, is down to one play most of the time. One or two plays determine the entire game. Think about it. The PI call on Michael Gallup, which wasn't his fault, changed the game against the LA Rams, right? Let me go a little bit further. The Seattle Seahawks game, I think it was 4th down. Leaving the middle of the field wide open. I said full. I still can't talk today, man. But leaving the middle of the field wide open. Leaving it wide open on 4th and I think it was 3 or what have you. If the Cowboys were able to get the Seattle Seahawks off the field, they win that game. You see where I'm going with this? The Washington team. When you played them the first, what was it? The first time, right? It was the first time. No, it was the second time. It was the second time. 4th and 10 or 4th and 6, whatever it was, on your side of the 20, and you didn't pin them deep. Football, normally, is broken down to 1 or 2 plays. That's how crazy this thing is. And that's what they want, right? They want it to be parity in the league, right? In the league, in the NFL, they want it to be parity. And you get that. So we'll find out. We'll actually find out how this can be to our, benefit, and how it can be a moment where as we look back and say, man, if only we tighten up a few things, we could be in the playoff, right? Or only if we did this right, if we substitute this guy out earlier. You guys get what I'm saying, right? If we made this movement and cut this player earlier, those who didn't want to play, the Dontari Poles of the world, Worley. The craziest thing about Worley, he went to the Bills, and they said, nah, we good, fam. The Raiders pulled him off of the practice squad, and then he went to them, I bet you he was like, damn, I was on a winning team. Started off on the Cowboys, right? Had high love and adulations there. Didn't really pan out right for him. Went to the Bills practice squad or went to their active roster or something like that, and they got squeezed to the practice squad to get pulled from there to Raiders. I don't know where he's at now, but you guys get where I'm going, right? It's a strange, strange world in the NFL. And that was just his story. There's thousands of others, right? Yep, so that's just how it goes. So, Cowboys, we got to figure this out. We can't depend on the Eagles to do their thing, right? And we can't depend on the Washington to lose. We just have to look back at this thing and say it's a learning moment. But shout out to everyone that's putting forward the best tape and out there trying their best. And I'm not trying to say that Xavier Woods, when he was playing and not giving 100% of the time, he wasn't putting out his best. But you guys get what I'm saying, right? You guys get what I'm saying. All right, so we'll find out what this team will be like, both teams. The Philadelphia Eagles, Let me put that chart up again for everybody to see. Those are all of the guys that's injured or did not participate. Now, it could be a little chess move here. I don't know. But a lot of people didn't practice. And there could be a telltale sign of them saying, okay, we're going to allow the Washington team to run all over us. Or them, basically. I hate saying us with the Eagles. You guys get what I'm saying, right? Cowboy Nation, let me know what you guys think. Post down in the comment box. Let me know. Let that friend, neighbor, foe know as well where to go when they want to tune in to Cowboy Sports Talk and Beyond. Everything that I did today is off of one cut. So I know some people like to nitpick on a few things, but one cut, baby. This is no editing show. So I do everything off of one cut. That's just how it goes. One cut, one love, Cowboy Nation. Let's continue to grind and shine. That's been my time. I really thank you all for yours. And remember, you're listening to nothing but the best. Let's go. We out. Peace.
Outstanding.
Let's go.